Welcome back. Democratic Senator Richard Blumenthal wants Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and acting ICE Director Todd Lyons to testify about an internal memo obtained by CBS News. It authorizes immigration agents to forcibly enter homes without judicial warrants. Now, just moments ago, Border Patrol Commander Greg Bovino, who's been in Minnesota this week, held a news conference on immigration enforcement in the state. Here's some of what he had to say, courtesy of CBS News Minnesota.
This most current influx of anarchists and folks that want to disparage and occlude this Title VIII law enforcement mission. So we can do this much better for the citizens of Minneapolis. And what this revolves around is the climate. The current climate surrounding law enforcement and this Title VIII mission in which ICE, Border Patrol, and these allied teams are fighting so hard to accomplish. Now, this climate that we talk about is not very favorable right now in Minneapolis. But that as our first point, it's not very favorable to federal law enforcement here in Minneapolis. Let's take a look at what happened yesterday.
CBS News immigration and politics reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez joins me live right now. Hey, Camilo, so what were your takeaways from today's news conference?
Well, Mugo, Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino and other top administration officials, including top ICE official Marcus Charles, continue to blame local politicians for the current tense situation in Minneapolis, saying that they should be working with federal immigration agents, mainly by allowing local jail officials to transfer non-citizen inmates who are in local criminal custody to ICE so that agency can process them for deportation. It is important to underscore that some Minnesota officials do already do that, including the Minnesota Department of Corrections, as was reported by our colleague Nicole Skanga. It is true that other officials, including in Hennepin County, do not honor what is known as an ICE detainer. That is a request by the agency to have local law enforcement hold on to people in local criminal custody so ICE can go and pick them up at a local jail. The argument from the administration has been, Mugo, that they have to go into communities like Minneapolis to arrest people released from local jails because of that lack of cooperation. We should underscore that the administration has also been targeting people who are subject to civil immigration charges but don't have a criminal record. So the crackdown has extended well beyond just people released from local custody who have criminal histories. That is really critically important to point out, Mugo.
Yeah, it definitely is. What more can you tell us about that internal memo revealing that ICE is authorizing its agents to enter homes without a judicial warrant?
Well, Mugo, the memo right here marks a seismic change in federal immigration policy. Historically, ICE has told its agents and officers to refrain from actually going into private property, people's homes, if you will, unless they have a judicial warrant signed by a judge at the federal level. But now we have learned through this memo that in May of 2025, acting ICE Director Todd Lyons authorized officials at the agency to actually forcibly enter people's homes in certain circumstances. That includes during operations, Mugo, targeting people in the country illegally who have been ordered deported by an immigration judge or a deportation immigration court. That is the argument that the administration has been making to really bypass the long-standing interpretation of the U.S. Constitution, which has been interpreted to mean that federal, state, and local officials who work for law enforcement agencies cannot enter private property unless they have a judicial warrant. So this will certainly trigger significant legal challenges, Mugo.
Okay, Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you so much for your reporting.